Morning, guys. Coming to you on a unusual day. I normally don't video or live stream on this day, but last night I was watching a video by John at ProCraps, and he was reviewing a strategy that was originally brought out by the Craps Down Under channel, and it's called the 1-3-2-4 strategy. And it's kind of the hot craze lately with a lot of the different channels. Jacob from Wager is working with it. Greg at 555 is working with it. John is looking at it. And there's a couple other channels that are actually looking at this strategy because it has some intriguing aspects, but there's a lot of downfalls, a lot of things that people are finding that it's not working perfectly the way they want it to work. So anyhow, last night John went through on his channel, and I have, by the way, I have the link to the original description or original video for the Craps Down under in my description on this video. And then I also have John's link from the video last night on the description of my video as well. But John was going through and looking at a couple different possibilities, a couple different alternatives, and he basically came up with some ideas, but he also did a call out to a couple of different channels to see if we could roll it out and see if we could come up with something different also, or different aspects to the strategy. So basically what John went through last night is, and I'm just going to kind of just talk it through right now. He was going with a don't pass line bet, and I have the $25 right now. We'll just go as 1 unit for that. So what we'd do is he would roll it out, and if it would win, so in other words, we'd make a point. Say the point is 9 right now, it doesn't really matter. And also the 7 would roll before we'd hit the point. That would win. So what that would win is 1 chip. So he would go under, and he would make it 2 chips then. And again, roll it out, see if we got a point. Let's say the point is 6 right now. Let's say that would win. Then your third bet would be, because this would win 2 chips, your third bet would be 3 chips, and then this would be put into the rack. Again, make a point, let's say it's 10, and he would roll it out, and let's say that would win. After that one would win, he would take it, let's say it wins 3 chips, he would take it down to 1 and start a progression all over. So ultimately what would happen is you would win 6 units plus your original one that you started with. So that would be your profit right here. The big thing with this though is there's no come out protection. So a lot of times with the come out, let's say a 7 is rolled or an 11 is rolled, the 2 numbers that would be killers for the don't pass. So you would lose this. But let's say you had your 3 chips up there and you roll it. That would be $75 or 3 units that you would lose right away. So John's kind of call out was, hey, can we come up with a different way to help hedge that or help make it so you don't lose those bets? So I kind of came up with 2 different progressions. 2 different ways of doing it. One is laying the 4, 10, or laying one of the numbers, like John was kind of playing around with in the video, and I kind of came up with some numbers that actually would work for that. But the other one was, and John kind of mentioned the backwalling technique, where you would actually lay a whole bunch of different numbers for various amounts, and that way if your 4 is hit or your 10 is hit, if you would lay those numbers, you don't lose all that money right away. And so I kind of played around with the numbers of both of them, and this is what I came up with. So my first option would be where we go with the $25 don't pass. And to kind of work the numbers out, I went with a $2 yo. I'm just going to put on the E for now. And I also went with a $10 hard 4. And that's on my video screen, so this is a hard 4 right here. And then we went with a $90 lay 4. Okay, so that's a lay 4. Okay, let's kind of walk through this now. Obviously, we want that don't pass to hit. So that way, what would happen is, let's say a 2 or a 3 is R12. I'm sorry, 2, 3, R12 is rolled in the beginning. That would obviously pay out $25. Okay. Another option would be that one of the points rolls out. So it goes from the off position to one of the points. Hopefully it's any of the points other than the 4. Okay. That would be a second option. Third option would be the 4 rolls. Hopefully it's a hard 4, because that would pay out $45. I'm sorry, that would actually pay out $90 on that, if it's a hard 4, and that would help cover everything else on here. But if it's, the last option would be the 7. If the 7 would roll, this lay 4 would actually pay out $45 with a $2 vig. So it would pay out $45. And I would throw out $2 for the vig on that. So that's kind of the options right there, what would happen. So that's the first level. Okay, let's say that with that 1, we actually, by the way, we would keep all this out just for 1 roll only. And then after that, we would play out the dice rolls to see if we can get the 7 to come out. Let's say the 7 does come out, the point is not hit, 7 comes out, we would win 1 unit on there. Okay, second level is going up to 2 units on here. Okay, in order to compensate for that, we would need to put $4 on the yoke, and we would have $20 on the hard 4. So that's a hard 4 bet. And we would go with $150 lay 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it'd be $150 on the lay 4. Okay, and that's the numbers that I came up with that would pay for or work best for that level. More in the Mid-Atlantic, kind of covered in that video that we went through with John Procraps last night. So anyhow, this is the second level. It'd be a $50 don't pass. This is all stale for 1 roll of the dice. After we would make a point, these would all come back down. But this is again protecting us from the 7. So the 150 here on the lay 4 would pay out $80. I'm sorry, it should be 160. That's my mistake. It would pay out $80. And that would be for a $4 vig. So if that would hit, that would pay out the $80, and then I would have to drop $4 for that. $20 hard 4 would hit. That would also pay out $180 for that. And if the $4 yo would hit, that would pay out $60. And that would be more than enough to cover our don't pass bet here. Okay, and then the third option, or the third level was, let's say we got a point, all the stuff we brought down, because again, that only stays up for 1 hit, or 1 roll of dice. And we get to the third level. The third level would be this payout. We would drop down 1, and then we would put the other one in the rack. So we're at 3 units on the don't pass for that third level. In order to compensate for this, what I did is we did a $5 yoke. I did a $30 hard 4. And we went with a $250 lay 4. Okay, and the payouts for this now, again, like I said, these would all stay up for 1 roll. And if we make a point, then now that would come down. Well, let's say the 7 rolls on the come out, the 250 would pay 125. And that would be for a $6 vig. So we would have to drop $6 for that. And that would cover pretty much everything that's on the board except for the vig in that. If the yo would roll on that, that would obviously pay out $90. And if the hard 4 would roll, that would pay out $270. So let's do this once. Let's roll it out once and see what it looks like. And we'll see how far we can get, see if we get past the first or second level on this. So we can take all these chips off for now, and we'll give this a roll and see what it looks like. Okay, to start off with, we're going to go with the $25 don't pass. We'll go with a $2 yo. We're going to go with a $10 hard 4. Again, I don't have it on the video screen, so we're just going to set it right here for a hard 4. And we're going to go with a $90 lay 4. It's 75, 85, and 90. And the lay button is on. Okay, and puck is off right now, and we're just going to roll this out. And we have a 415. So the puck would move the 5. The lay bet would come down. All this would come down. Actually, we would lose the yo. We would lose the yo, so that would go back to the bank, and the rest would come down. Okay. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna hopefully roll 7, 538, 516. 426, 325, 6410, 112 craps, 516. This is a long roll. Let's see the big red here. 314 and 6511. Wish I had money on this table right now. 6612, twice in a row. Boxcars, twice in a row. Hardways are coming. 6s, 3s. Oh, and 2s we had. 4s. Okay. Let's see a 7 here. Here's a 7. Okay. So that would actually pay out 1 unit on that don't pass. So what we would do now is we would stack this. And then we would go to our second level. So we have a $50 2 unit don't pass. We're going to go with a $4 yo. And we'll go with a $20 hard 4. And then we'll go with $160 on the lay 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 160. And then that would be a lay in there. Puck is off. This will be a come out roll. And we did a 7 right from the get-go. So this is where this actually comes in really nice. With this, the 160, we'll pay $80. Okay, and that comes with a $4 vig. So we would have to drop $4 on that. Okay. We would lose these and all this right here. Okay. So what that did now is that'll hopefully allow us to put everything back up again. Remember, we had $50 over there, and we had $20 on the hard 4. So let's get some change here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll put $20 back on the hard 4. And we also had $4 on the yo. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's $4 on the yo. We have the 20 on the hard 4. And we also have the same lay bet up here. We didn't lose that at all. And the way it looks is that we have $6 left that we put back in our rack. Okay, coming out again. And we have a 336, so that would be the point. And 5, 5, 10. This is like hard way times. It should be enrollment. So look at this. 1, 1, 2. Should be using this for my 4-way hard way game yesterday that we videoed. Okay, we got a 6, 1, 7 now. So obviously, this stuff was all brought down after the come out roll, and I apologize. We lost the 11 on the come out roll. The rest of it was brought down on the come out roll. So this is going to pay out 2 chips on the 2 units on a don't pass. So the third step would be actually put in 1. We would rack 1. So now we all have 3 out there. And with this, we're going to be going with a $6 yo. Okay, we're going to go with a $30 hard 4. And then we're also going to go with a $250 lay 4. 5. That's 250 right there, and that would be going on the lay 4. Okay, puck is off. And this is going to be our third round now. Again, these things over here are going to stay up for 1 roll only. It's going to protect us against the 7 and the 11 and a hard 4. Okay, and we have a 6, 4, 2, 6. That's our point. So this would come down. This would come down. We would lose the yo 11. Okay, and then we would roll this out again. We have a 5, 3, 8 and 5, 4, 9, and then we have 3, 1, 4, 6, 6, 11, hard ways again, and 3, 2, 5, 2, 1, 3, 5, 1, 6. Be nice if we use a different strategy here because we were making a lot. Okay, there's our 7. So we actually got all the way through on this one now. And what the 3 over there would be is it would pay out 3. What we would do is we would rack all those plus the 1 that we had gone before. So we'd drop back down to 1 unit. We'd start the process all over. So that would leave us a profit of 6 units. Okay. So that's the second strategy that I came up with. The first one was what John said. He did the $25 and don't pass. He increased it 1 unit, do the 1, 2, 3 style, and then he would start it over at 0. The second option is the one I just did with the lay 4. The third one is actually a lot more expensive, and that's actually going through and doing a small lay bet on several of the numbers. Again, we would do a $25 don't pass to start off the process. We would go with a $2 yo for the first level. And then what we would do is we would lay, and I decided not to lay the 6 and the 8 on this strategy because that would be too much exposure, too much risk. These are the 2 most common numbers, obviously, other than the big red that would roll. So we would lay the 4, 5, 9, and 10, so that way we could spread our risk out. But here comes the problem: is that when we do that, we are actually putting out a lot more money. So we would do $50 lay 4, $50 lay 10, and then it would be $38 on the 9, the $38 on the 5. Okay, and that sounds kind of like a weird number, but that's actually what it works out to. So that way what would happen is when it pays out, we're paying out $25 on those wins. Obviously, they would all have a vig in that. So what we would do is when we would roll it out, obviously we're protecting ourselves against the 7 on the come out roll. We're also protecting ourselves against the 11 on the come out roll. But let's say this happens right here, okay? We rolled an 8. Let's say we roll a 9. Okay, pretend it's a 9. We would lose this, so that would be profit all out of our hands. And then this stuff would come down. So it would be basically losing the 11 and the 9. So we're actually coming out $39 that we would have to make up somewhere along the process. And I'm finding that when you do it this way, you're not going to be able to make that up enough in the long run. I mean, that's $39 that we lost right there, and we're only going to gain $25 on this round. And if we were to go through all the different rounds, that's actually 6 units, which would be $150. But we have $39 here, 3 rounds. That's about $120, $130 each round that we're going to be losing, or if we go through all 3 rounds that we would be losing. So we're going to get a profit like $20, $30 total, basically. So it's not really worth doing the actual backwalling. So that's why we named the video here the no-yo backwalling, the 1, 2, 3 no-yo backwalling crap strategy. So my suggestion, John, would be to go with the lay 4 or lay 10. Just pick one number, and hopefully you won't hit it. You can set the dice and maybe pick a set that you'll roll those numbers the least. That would be my suggestion to going forward. So, hey, if you guys have any comments or anything, make sure that you add them in. If you like this video, please press a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. My name is Joe, and this is my Craftsmaster journey. Let's make it yours too.